Today we are traveling to Jordan. This is Marcel from Slamming It Out and the video is coming up right now. Hey, what's cooking guys? It's me again and thank you for watching this video because it is the last in my mini series Living and Working Abroad. This is video number 12 and these 12 videos really cover all my different workstations, all these different countries where I have worked in over 27 years except Germany. I will not cover Germany because I am from Germany and I might cover this topic in a different video if there's an interest. If you want me to talk about Germany, if you want tips, if you need some knowledge how to apply in Germany or in the European Union, and I can do that, of course, let me know in the comment sections if there's any special interest, then I will do a video on Germany, of course. 12 videos, 12 countries, 4 continents in 27 years, minus probably 3 years because of my apprenticeship, but it still comes up to more than 2 decades traveling around the world. This was really an amazing journey. If you have watched all videos, then you have a great deal of an idea now what I have been experiencing so far. And if you have not watched all the videos, then I urge you to do so in order to get a little bit to know my background and where I'm coming from and what I have experienced. Yeah, this is really the great thing when working as a chef. You can really travel, not only travel, but you can work all over the world if you really want to. That's what I did. I actually, when I started off as a teenager, it never came to my mind to actually leave Germany. I've covered these stories before, but in the very beginning I didn't want to move around and things like that. It just happened, you know, you meet different people and then things are coming up and then you get interested in these kind of things. And looking back today, over the past 27 years, I do not regret anything because this travel experience was not only a travel experience, but also I met a lot of people from different nationalities, from different countries, from different cultures. And last but not least, and very important, of course, I constantly upgraded my culinary skills because I am a chef and this was also my intention in the first place to travel, not only to visit other countries, which is of course always a great thing because we all love to travel, or at least most of us, but it was also always about the upgrading of my culinary knowledge and skills and expertise and to get to know different ingredients, funny ingredients, strange ingredients, and also new cooking techniques, strange cooking techniques, you know, like when I came to Asia, yeah, I learned completely different cooking techniques, ingredients, and also the structure of the kitchen is completely different, you know, very interesting. And last year I came to Jordan. Yeah, Jordan was never on my list. It just happened. I got a call from a former colleague and he needed help in a 5-star hotel at the Dead Sea. Very interesting location. You guys know, if you have watched my videos, that I've been to Saudi Arabia once, and that was my first contact with the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, the Arabian Peninsula, I think is different. The Middle East, yeah, is considered of these Levant countries, as they're being called, as if I'm not mistaken. So Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon. And Iraq. Iraq actually is already on the Arabian Peninsula, and Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Qatar. You know, these are very rich countries, and you can see that especially when you are in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, Qatar, you know, these people are pumping a lot of money into these countries. They have been developing these countries. Some of you or most of you have been either to the Middle East for traveling or even work there. So you know what I'm talking about. But you know, coming to Jordan, I didn't even really expect, I didn't even really know what to expect when coming to Jordan, because this country is kind of under the radar. You don't hear much about Jordan, which was actually also a good thing for me to consider to move to Jordan, because you know, you hear all these crazy stories in the news, you know, especially Syria, you know, the past few years, but also in Lebanon is always trouble going on. But Jordan is really relatively quiet and a peaceful country. So that that influenced my decision. But when I arrived in Jordan, I must honestly say I was shocked in the beginning, because I did not really know, I didn't really know that Jordan is, how to say, not really in a good shape. You know, that was my first impression, you know, that I'm just sharing my first impressions here with you. I remember they picked me up from the airport and then we drove 1 hour to the Dead Sea, and what I could see, you know, from the buildings we passed, it was during the night, it was dark already, but it looked not like in Dubai, I can tell you that. So and it was clear that Jordan is a different kind of a country. And later I learned that Jordan is not very rich. They don't have oil, you know. It is also a desert state. There's a lot of desert. They have a great heritage though. You know, many millions of tourists and today we have to say used to travel to Jordan. Jordan is famous for the heritage, for all these kind of things, and I think there's many movies have been shot there. Also the Indiana Jones movies were shot there in Jordan. So this is what Jordan has to offer: a lot of culture, a lot of heritage, no oil, no high-risers. You know, Amman, the capital city of Jordan, is a big city, but nothing special. You have a few shopping malls there. So I'm speaking out of my perspective as a tourist, foreigner or expatriate. You know, that was my impression of Jordan. So, you know, I've traveled the whole world. I've seen some places. So that was really nothing special to me. Regular buildings, normal neighborhood, rather not so clean compared to other cities. I don't say Amman is a dirty place. I'm not saying that, so don't get me wrong. But you know, I just compare with my past experience. So it's a very ordinary place, an ordinary city with ordinary people. Jordanian people, I must say, are very nice people. This is what I have noticed, of course, while working with them. Most of my team members, actually 95% of my team members, were local Jordanian people. And here comes a very interesting fact. Speaking of the heritage of Jordan, you know, when you look back at the history, and you look back like 2,000 years ago, that was a very international place. That is where everything happened, you know. Jesus Christ and the church and everything in the Roman Empire. That was the hotspot 2,000 years ago. And yeah, so therefore in Jordan you have mostly Muslim people, yes, but you also have Christian people there, and I also had Christian people in my team. And that was fascinating because there was no war, there was no terror, there was no nothing. There was some fighting going on, but I can tell you, and especially you Arab people, you know what I'm talking about, because you guys, you like to fight sometimes, you know. And I had these issues also in my kitchen team. But as far as I could evaluate this, that was kind of an internal local Arab thing when they got into fightings, but it had nothing to do because one was a Christian guy or one was a Muslim guy, as far as I could witness it, and that was a good thing. Jordan is a tolerant place. Absolutely, I can confirm this. There is no religious fanaticism. Might be there in some places, like in any place of the world, you have some fanatics, but I felt, and this is very important here to say, I feel very comfortable in Jordan. I feel safe. Yeah, this is something I want to emphasize here. Jordan is a safe place to travel. 100%. I've been around in Amman always by myself. There had never any issues, nothing. People very friendly, especially towards foreigners. And also what I have noticed, many Jordanians, they lived in Germany for a while, and I didn't know that. And I now know that as we speak in Germany, we have actually plenty of Jordanian immigrants. I didn't know that. When I was in Jordan, when I worked there, in our hotel at the Dead Sea, we had a lot of local guests coming to our hotel, and as soon as they figured out that I am from Germany, that I am the chef, you know, the tall chef running around there, and they asked, who's that guy? Is he the new chef? And they figured out that I'm from Germany. Many guests actually approached me, and they even could still speak German because they studied in Germany, and now they came back to Amman or to Jordan, and they spent their retirement there. Or I met many other Jordanian people who have family in Germany, so the brothers living here with family. So that was very interesting. So I think the Jordanian people in general have a high opinion of Germany. And now in return, it's interesting, I have kind of a high opinion about Jordanian people, which in my personal experience, I had a very good time with. Speaking about the heritage, I mentioned it already, I did not have the chance to travel entire Jordan to see all these famous places. I've been to one site, which is the baptism site, Jesus' baptism site. So that was literally only like a few kilometers away from our hotel, like a 20-minute cab ride. That was interesting to see. So for Christian people, of course, this is something very, very important. And in our team, we had some Filipinas, some ladies from the Philippines, which worked, still working today in this hotel. And and for them, it was always something very important to visit this site. And I've been there, I've seen it. It was interesting, right at the border to Israel. So it was interesting. I took some pictures and I made a YouTube video also on my other channel. And that was all what I could what I have seen of the heritage. And then I remember we also went to this Mount Nebu. I hope I pronounced it right. The Mount Nebu is actually the big mountain where Moses discovered or proclaimed or pronounced the promised land. So for you Christian viewers, you please may correct me if I stated anything wrong, but I think that is the connection here. Mount Nebu, this is where the promised land was discovered or disclosed, or it was pronounced by Moses. Our hotel, as mentioned, was right at the Dead Sea. That was also a very interesting site, the Dead Sea. There is no ship traffic, no boat traffic, no nothing. Because it is also the border to Israel. And you know, these political tensions, everybody knows about them. But it was very peaceful there. There was no problem, no issue. The funny thing was you could really look right across to Israel, or as most Arab people would actually say, Palestine. I know you guys don't say Israel. I know the story. I use the term Israel, you know, because I just know it as Israel, but for the Arab people and especially Jordanian people, I know they don't like when I say that. For them it's Palestine. Either way, we had a lot of Palestine people from the West Bank also living in Jordan and also working in my kitchen team. I think half of the people of my kitchen team actually originally came from the West Bank, which belonged to Jordan actually, before Israel invaded the area. But it was funny to see, because from our hotel you could really see Jerusalem. You know, the place, the Dead Sea, is like 400 meters below sea level. And it is a very healthy place. That's why many tourists are coming there. We had a lot of tourists from Germany for all kinds of skin sickness, but also the air is very, very rich with minerals and stuff like that. And you could see always in the evening, I saw some lights in the very distance, you know, on top of, it seems like mountains. And then one day I asked somebody, tell me, what are these lights over there? Is this a big city? And the guy said, yeah, that's Jerusalem. I say, what? I couldn't believe it, Jerusalem, I've never been to Jerusalem, but Jerusalem is that kind of, when you hear that name, a lot of heritage and history and religion and, indeed it was Jerusalem. Like when you would fly with a helicopter, you probably would take only like 20 minutes. It was like a 30 kilometers distance only. So that was very interesting. And the other city we could see was Jericho on the Israeli side. And yeah, it's a very hot climate over there. The temperatures they can reach in the summertime like easily 48, sometimes 50 degrees Celsius. It's just bloody hot. I remember bloody hot. That's why they call it also Dead Sea. Nothing is swimming in the sea, no fish, no nothing, but that has to do with the salt content. But even when you walk around, it is just desert place, a lot of rocks, a lot of desert, a lot of sand. Nothing is really growing there because this is really hot. Amman, the capital city, is about an hour drive from the Dead Sea. That was also very interesting because you go up, with the car. Amman is like 1,000 meters above sea level, and our hotel was 400 meters below sea level, 400 meters below sea level, and then Amman is kind of like 1,000 meters above sea level. So I remember going there in the summertime. It was like 45 degrees at the Dead Sea, and after 1 hour reaching Amman, it was a very comfortable temperature, 25 degrees, 28 degrees. And I hear that during the winter time, even in Amman, it's getting very cold and even snow is falling. This is what I could not imagine, because you have also palm trees growing in Amman and things like that. So yeah, that was a little bit an information about the Dead Sea and the place I worked. And that's already it for today. That's also it for this mini-series, Living and Working Abroad. Now you know my story, now you know my background. Of course, there's much more to say. There's much more to talk about. If you want to know more details about my traveling, if you want to know more details, what made me start to work in the kitchen in the first place, then I want you to get this book and read it. It's called Slamming It Out. This is the book I've released last year. It is all about my travel adventures, my cooking adventures. And not only that, it is also packed with useful tips, tricks and other tools if you want to become a more professional chef and better cook. And don't forget to check out my website www.marcelr.com, www.marcelr.com. On this website you can find many more stuff, many more videos, and also my blog post, which I release every Wednesday. So go check it out. And also, if you are working already in the kitchen and it happens that you are leading small, medium-sized or large teams, then I urge you and I ask you to check out my course on Udemy, my online class on Udemy, which I have released a few weeks ago, 9 principles how to become a powerful team leader. The link is also in the description. You can check it out if you're interested. And what you can also put in the descriptions are your comments, questions and concerns, or suggestions, or any other kind of stuff you want to share with me. With that being said, I'm checking out for today. Thank you again for watching my video. Stay healthy as usually and stay safe. And don't forget, guys, always keep slamming it out. Take care. Bye bye.